say anything, or you want us to fire?
I can say something on me too. We're just ready to get back to work today, get on the floor, start getting ourselves a little bit better and prepping for West Virginia. Obviously, it's a great challenge up there. It'll be a great atmosphere, physical, tough team, playing really well. Disappointing loss in Texas, where I thought we really controlled the game really to the very, very end, outside the first 2 minutes of the game. And so, got to keep our guys focused and, because we got a stretch here of games where I think we've got, a chance to string something together.
You talked a lot recently about running some more offense through the post. I guess did that on Saturday. How did you think that looked?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good for us. We were trying to go into the post on the one possession where we were up 2 with about a minute to go. We didn't get what we kind of wanted out of that possession, but the possession before Solomon hit the jump hook, put us back up 4, I think. And so I thought we really made a conscious effort of doing that. I think there's some teams we know we can attack and go inside, and I think the teams that we've been able to, the teams that we think we can do that against, I think we've made really a focal point, and they've done a really good job with it. We were efficient in that game, the Texas game. I think our offensive efficiency was 1.1, which is very good. That game had it was kind of an even keel game. There was to where I thought, for the majority of the game, we got really good looks and good shots, and good opportunities, and just the last minute of the game, you're up 5, and the 3-point line really it flipped the game so fast.
You mentioned efficiency, and Mike and Solo weren't super efficient, just shooting wise, and I know there's probably some noise in there with some mid-range stuff. But are you okay sacrificing maybe a little bit of efficiency there, because getting the ball inside is probably going to open up things elsewhere?
Yeah, I there are better opportunities. I know mid-range, but Mike's strength is actually the mid-range.
Solo too.
That's actually where they shoot the ball better. Mike was 3 for 10, but Mike probably missed out of them 7. I bet 4 or 5 were really good looks. And Solomon, we got him the ball around the basket, a ton. I thought, really it's the 3 possessions on defense. We kind of gamble, we give up Sims a dunk, and then we didn't guard Ramey back-to-back possessions. You're up 5, and you just think about it. You just say, all right, shoot 2 layups, right? Give them layups, and we're up 1, with the ball. You know what I mean? So the 3-point line, it's killed us all year. Just attention to detail, because the last play we take the lead, we got a great look, just miss some bunnies. That's just going to happen. It's a tough call. I get the call. Trey Jackson, I'm assuming they called tripping, more so than a legal screen. Sims tripped over his foot, but everything, if you look at the play, even if Sims stays on his feet, everything's wide open that we wanted in that play. It's just a tough call.
Shayok last year was the volume score when they pulled Iowa State out of its regular season funk. Who's the guy that you have confidence that can do that right now?
Bolden's the one guy on our team that I think can really put pressure on defenses, getting in the paint and drawing help and getting the free throw line. I think Tyrese's biggest strength is as a facilitator, running offense and making people better. And then when he has angles, being able to really create. I don't think we have a one-on-one type team where we're just, I think when we get isolated and stagnant, I think that's when we struggle a little bit. We got to get in space and drive and kick, or get to the free throw line, or like we said, the teams that we can throw it inside. And so I don't know if there's one guy that I would say, hey, this is, that can, Shaq's 6'5", he could do 6'6", and could do some different things, but obviously Bolton and Tyrese we got a lot of confidence in, and then I thought Trey Jackson did some good things. He turned down a wide open shot late, top of the key, that I talked about the game. Sometimes he's in such a hurry to get it back to Tyrese that he turns down some good looks.
With Trey, you had told us, I think since October, that you know, what he was doing in practice, shooting, and since Big 12 play started, I don't have the number in front of me, I think he shot into the 40s from
Yep.
beyond the arc. What have you seen click for him, or was there a moment where you think he started getting some of that confidence, and has that translated to other parts of his game, him making shots?
Well, defensively, I mean, he's small now, so he can guard you well at times, still get overpowered at times, but he really competes. You know, that's why I was surprised Courtney Ramey got the 3. I mean, he was way far off for Trey. Trey knows he needs to be into him right there. But he's a confident kid, and he's a high character guy, and he just works and works. And, you know, like I said, I've seen him shoot it really well throughout practice. But that's all these guys. You know, I've put a lot of time in. You see him shoot it well. And I think Trey's had 2 really good games in conference. I think 3 for 3 against Texas, wasn't he? And then 4 for 5 here against Oklahoma. And like I said, Trey late in the game had a 3 from the top that was, you know, I wish he would have shot it. And then we were trying to get him on the play that we fouled. We were trying to get him for 3 at top, and if he didn't have that, we had Solomon in the paint. And like I said, it all developed. It's just a tough, unfortunate play with the tripping call.
West Virginia, it's just, I guess, the epitome of a West Virginia team, really strong defensively, really strong on the glass, and guys like Culver and Shootwave jump off the page, but it seems like they're really deep.
Yeah, they're deep. I mean, he plays a lot of guys. I mean, they defend. I mean, they're no different than his great teams have been from a standpoint of, you know, they are back to pressing, where, you know, people that talk, I didn't watch them a lot in the preseason, where they weren't pressing and just playing really good half-court defense, but they are pressing, whether it's on the ball, off the ball, run and jump. They're very, very physical. You got to attack all 40 minutes. Like, you have to make play after play on the offensive end, and on the defensive end, you got to be physical at every position, because they'll post all, really basically, depending on who's at the point, it could be 1 through 5, they'll post you up, and then they're going to go try to go get it and rebound it. And so they're a very, very physical team, 15 feet and in. You got to rebound it. You got to match that challenge, and you got to keep them spread out on offense. And so that's the biggest key. You can't let bad offense dictate good offense for them. But you know, you could tell. I mean, Huggins was determined to get his team back right after obviously last year's season.
Georgia's production and minutes have kind of tapered off significantly, really, since he starting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of that is Solomon's game has raised up a level. But what's your diagnosis for why he's?
Yeah, I don't know. I talked to George Saturday night. We texted after the game late that night, and he got a workout in Sunday, and I'll see him today and talk to him today. I don't know what's, you know, he hasn't played, just, I mean, he'll say it too, he just hasn't been as good as he was, you know, a couple weeks ago. Why that is, I don't know. You know, we got to get him back playing like he's capable of, because we need his size, we need his length, we need his protection around the basket, and need his energy. And so, you know, hopefully that switch can flip back for him.
I think the most striking thing is he's stopped blocking shots really for a month.
I think he's averaging one a game maybe in conference
He's had
play.
1 in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know, and I may say something to him today about it, but I think he knows. I mean, he's self-aware. He's a very smart kid, so he's self-aware to where, you know, he needs to play better for us.
What for him projecting to the next level? Not that it's easy, but is his path there simple in that he's already got a baseline of physical and gifts and skills that makes it obvious how he can do that in the future?
Yeah, I mean, he has a chance, you know, and I've talked to him about this, you know, you rim run, you defend, you rebound, you block shots, you're going to change your life, you know, I mean, you're going to put yourself in a great position, you know, to where you can do special things. And so, you know, he has all the upside in the world, you know, but he's still young. I mean, he's still young. He really, you know, didn't play much last year. When he played last year, he was really good. He threw him in the championship game against Kansas and really responded well. You know, he's had some international experience, which has helped him. But you know, but he's still, like I said, he's still got to grow and continue to mature. But when you look at him, and he's 6'10", and he can run, got great hands, has a good basketball IQ, understands pick and roll. He's just got to continue to mature, continue to get stronger. But I tell him all the time, if you can rim run, defend, block shots, man, you're going to do really, really well for yourself. And so it's just, but it takes a little bit of time too to develop all that.
How do you expect Trey to handle himself in his first exposure against West Virginia, at West Virginia also? And how do you prepare him for that?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, you could say, let's go to practice today and let's throw 8 guys out on the court, but that doesn't simulate the 5 guys they got going out there. I think the biggest thing is, like he had to travel in late in the game. We had a stretch, we turned it over 3 or 4 times in a row, just some unforced turnovers to where, you just really talk to him about slowing down, hitting singles. Don't try to hit a double, don't try to hit a triple, don't try to hit a home run. You just hit singles against West Virginia and make simple plays. And if you can make simple plays, that'll work itself out. But we'll have him off the ball though, to where he can be a receiver to make catch and shoot threes. Which I think will ease the transition for him a little bit. But I think he'll be able to match their toughness from a standpoint of the way he competes on defense. Biggest thing I'll talk to him about is just slowing down, and it's not no live ball, dude. You're gonna turn it over. I'd rather you throw it to that Mountaineer. Let's just set our defense than give him live ball turnovers.
Towards the end of last season, you talked about keeping outside noise out. How do you handle, there's outside noise now. I mean, how do you, is that still a mantra, to keep the outside noise out?
No, I mean, there's outside noise. But the outside noise is more directed at me than the guys, right? So, they shouldn't be worried about anything. What I would assume, I don't read it all or look at it all, but most of it's gonna be directed towards the coach, so they don't need to worry, they just need to play.